You my rock, Papa, you are my strength. Hey, my strong tower, you cover me with your wings. I give you the glory. Your blessing forever, I will receive it. Hey God, come on, my defender, my strong tower. You never been like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Praise the Lord, I will say. Truly my soul, truly my soul. I will wait upon God. From He come at my salvation. Truly my soul, truly my soul. I will wait upon God. From He come at my salvation. Blessing me, God. You've been blessing me, God. Every day, Baba, yeah, you never fail. I give you the glory. Your blessings forever, I will receive it. My defender, my strong tower. You never think like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Hallelujah, yeah. And that's why I thank you for everything. Yeah. Truly my soul. Truly my soul. Yeah. I will wait upon God. I will wait upon God. For He come at my salvation. Blessing me, victory, victory, overflow, victory, victory. I will wait, hey, I will wait, hey, I will wait, hey, I will wait. Hey, blessing me, victory, blessing me, victory, victory, overflow, victory, victory. I will wait, hey, I will wait.
Thank you. I had to go back into studio. We had a little technical difficulties with our internet, so I had to go back. Everything that I'm doing here right now, the engineer is like a miles away from me, so I had to go back to studio because we had a little problem. And so, as I said, we are testing this thing. It's on test, so please don't worry. Everything gonna be good. Thank you. I had to go back into studio. We had a technical difficulties with our internet, so I had to go back. Okay, guys, I said that. I was talking about Liberia. You know, we, the Liberians that live in the diaspora, majority of us are the problem because we got good Liberians who are standing up against corruption and injustice in Liberia. So, a lot of Liberians that are doing that. But the fact is that they got other guys who in this country, in Europe, who are not sincere at all, who don't care. They don't worry about other Liberians. They're all about themselves, what they will get from this government. Because you know, our government been like they've been operating like as if it was a farm, where if every government come in, it's a time to go and harvest. That's your time. You go and harvest or you do what you need to do. But this is not how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to work in government because you want to get rich. It is an opportunity for you. Let me adjust my screen, please. So please, you see me shaking. I'm trying to adjust. And okay, I'm trying to bring it to my eyes level. So don't worry. As I said, it's a test. So you will see some little thing, but after a while, everything. But anyway, this is the general conversation with the general. And we will be talking on a lot of other issues. Issues that concerning Liberians and Liberia. That is what we'll be talking about. Someday I will not be talking about politics. I will be broadcasting from other places. I will be bringing in local news. I will be sometimes bringing comedies. You know, we're going to laugh. We need to share jokes. We are all Liberians. Let us be our brothers' keepers. We're not here to fight the seditions. That's their right to support their government. And it is our right to support whoever we want to support. So if I disagree with this government, it should not cause hate. It should not bring hate. But before I continue on this, LRTN is owned and operated by the Sharing Foundation, and the CEO for that company is Joseph Anderson, a young man, and everything I'm doing here is being controlled by him. He's behind the scene doing everything. And also, I acquired this spots. It's not free. And it's not free because I got people who will be sponsoring the general show. I got roughly about 4 or 5 persons standing by. Business people who will be doing the ads. We also cover programs, weddings, but local community and local news and local events, we will be able to cover it. It might be free, but anything that you will do to raise money and you send for us, you know we need to pay for internet, we need to pay for everything. This is not just the ordinary Facebook thing. No, it's not. Even if you got a wedding in Liberia, we can also cover that wedding and it will go live. We got people on the ground. This business is registered, it's legal in Liberia. It's legal. We got a license for online TV in Liberia. So it's not free. It's not anything to say we're doing it illegal. Yes, it's Facebook, but you won't be able to communicate like if you can go on cameras and whatsoever. So I can go outside and talk. I can bring anyone in once you can get onto our site. We can bring you in. We can have about 4 or 5 cameras. We can set it up. And we can cover your program. It's just from a donation. We're not charging, but you just need to give at least some little donation that will keep this thing going. You understand? Okay, now, and today our president went to church. That's a good thing. He goes to church all the time. But I'm still afraid. This president is not getting it. He's not getting it. How can you go into a church? You have the opportunity, you got the microphone. Now you can tell the Liberian people how you feel. You can advise the Liberian people about protest. You can take responsibility, stand in front of the congregation and tell them, say, please, please, the people that are appointed, they let me down. The people that they are not doing the job. I'm just a one man. I cannot go from finance ministry to commerce ministry to defense ministry, which is true, Mr. President. You cannot. Tell the people. We know politicians lies anyway. They lie so badly until they can bring a whole nation down. If the people in Liberia can live with Prince Johnson, they can live with George Bulley, they live with all the killers in that place. What about you, George Weah? The darling boy of Liberia, the one and only, the most popular man so far at the time. And if anybody tells me that George Weah is popular now, I will tell you, you got a brain problem. If anybody tells me that George Weah is popular, then you got a brain problem. Yes. This man went to the church and tell the people that if any war come to Liberia, you will feed it. Because my government officials will get means to leave the country. You hear a president talking that? You hear because the president heard it from people who got a blank brain. People with 3 senses, not even 5, 3. He heard them saying it, especially the ones who live in America, saying that we don't need war. Mr. President, how can protests bring war? How were you scaring the people, telling them that if there's any war, why will you people just stick on to this thing, war, war, war? If there's any war, you will feel it. That's what President talking. Nobody attack him yet. Because the people want to protest that their rights, and other people are saying that you should step down. Now you're telling them that if you bring war, you will feel it. Because even my minister, they will get the opportunity to leave, and you will stay here. Sometimes when I sit and say, it's good for you. It's good for you. If you don't stand up to George Weah, if the people in Liberia do not stand up to George Weah, he will bully you every day. He just did it in the house of the Lord. If anybody tell me what President Weah said in our church was good, then you're not a Liberian. You're not a patriotic Liberian. No president, even though when the war was coming, though took time to approach his people when the people were closer to him, until he came out and said, I will not contest the 1991 elections. Let's come and discuss. Yes. But George, we are on this peaceful time, telling the people if there's a war in Liberia, can protests bring war? People who are armless, people who don't have nothing, no weapons, going in the street to protest. You got the guns. You have developed all the small securities. You have developed them. Koji got his own. This other person got their own. Now you are afraid. Jefferson Koji, Akara's Gray, Molu on one side. If these guys can change, they are only talking now because they don't have that relationship with President Weah. That is what, thank God they are coming off the truth. So that means they know the truth. They know what's been going on, but they've been lying to Liberian people. I can remember when the June 7 election protests. These guys said all kinds of things. They were condemning it. Akara's Gray were all on the net, convincing people. In fact, Akara's Gray had a 1 hour show every day. 1 hour show every day on, I think, OKFM. 1 hour every day. But today, the doors are locked. No communication between he and the president. The president have abandoned them through because of Twe and Magay. Because of the likes of Twe, Magay, Finda, and others. The chairman of the party cannot see the president anymore until he had to go to church to be born again. He had to go and repent. He repent and ask God for forgiveness. Akara's Gray, Thomas Fowler, they gone to the gods and asked God to forgive them for their lies, for what they have done to the Liberian people. Yes. Thomas Fowler, Akara's Gray, and Molba Molu lied to the Liberian people. Now the truth is coming up. It's coming out every day of the time. Every day, every day. President Weah, what is your problem? What is your problem? Why are you threatening people? Why are you threatening your people? Why, President Weah? Why? Why? It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, President Weah. It's not a good thing. You are afraid, but you don't want to do the right thing. This election, this and October and December 30th protest is on you. If this protest will succeed, it's on you. If this protest will fail, it's you, Mr. President Weah. I'm telling you, this protest is in your court. It's not with us. It's with you. Because you're not ready, President Weah. You're not ready. You stay doing childish things. How can you go into a church and tell the people that if there's a war, you will suffer because you will stay in the country and my officials will leave? Yeah. Some people ask, what is the nature of this protest? You don't have to know to be a rocket scientist to know what's going on in the country. This protest is to bring the president to the table. But if he cannot come to the table, he might end up resigning. Nobody said they're going to force Joshua out of office. The people of Liberia are not saying that they're going to, yes, people say step down. That's their right to tell you to step down. Anybody can make comment. But the purpose of this whole protest is to go and protest for this president to show some respect, to be the father of the nation, to show respect to his people that he's leading, to show respect, to give them some dignity that they can control and protect their family, to send their kids to school, to feed their homes. They cannot be beggars. It's not only opposition alone, even seditions. So that is why people are protesting. But if you don't listen, what's going to happen? When the government shuts down, you would think that you get all the money. But trust me, the world will look at you. At the end of the day, you will have to resign. They're not going to put gun to Joshua here to resign. Joshua could resign or not and just stand it. If Joshua will stand it, but the fact is that they got to bring him to the table. The first time the people protest, the peaceful protest ever in the history of Liberia, Liberian protested, it brought over 10,000 people. Whether they gave the petition on that day or not, but they were able to give a petition and send it to the president. There should have been some respect and say, I'll hear you. Because of security reasons, I could not go there. Yes, which is no problem. But I will look into your petition and I will see what to do. But this president refused to even mention the name protest, that the people had a right to protest. And he commended them. The only thing he did, he came out and praised the police, and that was it. And refused to acknowledge. Tell me, Liberians, do you think it's right? Now, we talk, before we say peaceful protest, Liberians don't know what you want. We don't know what we want at all. It's just like this old man and his son. He got his son sitting on a bicycle and he was pushing the bicycle. They started complaining. Why the little boy should sit there, the father push. The father was riding his son home. They started complaining. Look at them. Look at two of them. They're so poor, that bicycle they're riding. Then the papa decided to get on a bike. Everybody complain. Every little thing you do, Liberians complain. We don't know what we want in life. We don't know what is good for us. June 7 protests, we complain. It was not about him stepping down. Everybody said, oh, the poor presented a protest. Seditions, the surrogates, and other people started to make fun. Oh, you presented it to the internet. You presented it to Facebook. You're wasting your time. Joshua going 14 years, 13 years, 26 years. Other countries listen to you, a democratic country like America, Ghana, they're looking at you, they say, I can't believe what kind of people is this? This man just going 2 years and you're talking about him going 24 years? So the things, as things been going worse and worse, it's like a cancer. Liberia just like a cancer. They are just going through chemo and there's no improvement. Let us be smart. I want you to check let us start to count. Just let's go to the last 6 months to now. Has there been any better in Liberia? Let's just take the last 6 months. Okay, let's put it 8 months. From the time Joshua came to power, we have been deteriorating, been coming down and down and down and down. No law and order, justice, forget it. People, children lost in raping girls, killing them. Small country like bro, or government, police cannot even give you a report on death. I was in Liberia when this lady lost her son. This boy came from school and never went home after school. 2 days, they found his body laying by the police station in Bento. His face in a little water. They went to the police. They said they got to wait for the guys to come and pronouncing dead. The woman waited from there up to 5 o'clock in the evening. The grandfather got no choice. He picked his son up to go and bury his son. Small country Liberia. That lady spent she bought almost $50 card to get and give it to the police because the police, she got to give them a Lone Star and Cellcom. Police going to find your child, investigate. You got to pay. That's what they've been going through. The truck that killed that ran, or he ran into it on Rabafi Highway. Today, we don't know the owner of the trucks. We don't know the investigation. We don't know the outcome of that. When Ines were dead and got killed, they said an accident, but they took his body to the funeral home. No report from the Liberian National Police. Liberia is a unitary state, my people. We know. The president appoints everybody. We got almost like a Republican form of government with the 3 branches and whatsoever. But every other people are appointed by the president. We got 1 police commissioner in Liberia that's serving the 15 counties. All the other one, they just detachment head and whatsoever. You understand? Monrovia. This president is only concerned about Monrovia. Only Monrovia. Not even Montserrado. Monrovia. When was the last time this president went to Todi? It's part of Montserrado County. When was the last time this president drove into District 17? Banjo, all the way behind to Pole River, going to Pole River? No. This president have never. Even Nima County that gave you one of the biggest victory, you abandoned them. This president is all by himself. That is why Cara Gray said in his post, we should stop praising this president. Thank God is saying it now because the relationship is bad. Because some of them might end up turning around. We cannot be praising Joshua when he's doing nothing. Joshua doing nothing for Liberia. People concerned, they pray for Joshua, he will succeed. What do you mean by he will succeed? What people mean that he will succeed? In what way? Joshua is not Liberia. We all know Joshua was the darling boy of Liberia, the golden boy, the most loved Liberian ever because of soccer. The same press promoted him today. He don't speak to the press. He could not have he don't speak to his own people. And it's proving that he don't speak to us. He don't speak to his chairman of the party. So you tell us what Liberians should do. Oh, let's go. Y'all go to your representative to impeach. That house loaded of house that can impeach people. Where in the Constitution tell us that whether the president doing bad or not, we should close our eyes and go for 6 years? Where part of the Constitution only say that the president will last for 6 years every term and go for the second term if you want to. And at the same Constitution tells us that you got a right to protest, to gather and call your elected officials to even resign. When they say elected official, what do they mean? You think they're talking about only senators and representatives? When they say elected official, it starts from the president to the vice president down straight. Elected officials. Joshua got only 1 vote in that country. Joshua, guys, has only 1 vote. You got 1 vote. If you sit there and they abuse you don't want to come up to protest in December 3rd. That's your business. You don't want to come out and tell the president the truth. It's up to you. It's up to you. This president condemned the Liberian Council of Churches. He bullied them and gave them money, and they turned around to criticize. Liberians are the problem of Liberia. We are the problem. I will always say we because we are the minority who trying to speak out, but will be part because they say one rotten apple spotted back. We betray each other. You don't know who is who. That is why Liberians don't believe that Liberians could do things. We in America here, we see the way the system works in this country. How people move around. We pay bills. We respect the police, law and order. When the police disrespect you, they discipline them. They pay for it. Citizens have gotten thousands, millions of dollars from states because of the way they maltreat them. In Liberia, you own your own. Every day we talk about agriculture. Oh, agriculture is the bedrock. Agriculture is this. In our budget is 0.4%. United Nations had a program where all the countries, if you want to get a serious agriculture in your country, even if your budget is $5, you should get at least 10% of that $5 into agriculture. Oh, because of roads, that's why we don't have. So every government accounting, they try to build roads within Monrovia. Why can't you start from the border between Liberia, Sierra Leone to Monrovia, Liberia, Ivory Coast to Monrovia, Liberia, Guinea to Monrovia? Why you can't start the road? But every one of them want to build road because they will steal. Last time it was 1 million. This time it's 1.6 million for a mile. First time in the history of our country, bankrupt. Yes. All of a sudden, we saw new money in the market. The government lied. So who are we going to believe? Liberians in America, you got to be careful, man. You should be ashamed of yourself. You live your good life and your people in your country, you won't tell me they will remain like that? And we still got a slave mentality because the fact is that because we were the slave masters treated you, so you stay. The people who went to Liberia taught you and still you got that idea. Now you're in America, God bless you, you came to America, to hell with other people. Once Liberians are in a comfortable place, to hell with the rest of the people. That's how Liberia operates. Whenever they are in the right place, things are okay with them. They don't worry about you. You that don't have it. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. But the thing is that it don't work that way. We got to stand up for each other. We got to be around. We got to talk to each other. We got to say what is right. That's the only way your government will do the right thing, when you call them out. How you think the people voted in this country, the blacks? How you think the women had a right? How you think today GBTL or GLTB, gay and lesbian, all over the place got rights? Because they protest. They stood up. In Liberia, our schools are the worst. The people that sort of teach our youth, we don't care about them. The policeman in the street still making 150. How he won't take bribe? When the police director making $10,000, the policeman in the street, the least man making less than 150, he would take a bribe. And when you get this problem, the country happening, security problem, terrorists, everything coming through. And when government is broke, what happened? Terrorist organization try to infiltrate your country. Yeah. We don't know who you're talking to. You say it's a democratic country. In a democratic country, the citizens speak out. Democratic system, sometimes you think it's good or bad or whatsoever. But let's say if you get the House, the Senate, and everybody from one party, you know you're going to feel it because they will stand up together. First time to see opposition got more people in the Senate and its president just having a free ride. Nowhere in our constitution said that this president can appoint during break time and you can go through. It's in the Constitution of America. In America, whenever the House is on break, they call it something, the president can appoint and that a nominee can go through. It's not in America. But whenever we push kind of shop, then we say, oh, we almost like the Americans, so we follow the same thing. Why they can't let this other guy take office? Why they had to call them for confirmation? Because they know that it was wrong when Patterson came in. We get a bunch of Liberians who just started to steal from their friends, said they were collecting money to go protest in Washington, D.C. We don't want war. Now the president went to a church and saying the same thing. If war comes to the country, you will suffer. How will you tell a peaceful citizen, people who are peaceful, the citizen, you scaring them? You know it won't scare them, Mr. Weir. To be frank, it won't scare them. It will not. You just put in yourself, you continue to dig this hole for you. You can't see what is in the hole, but you just dig in the hole. We're not saying that this protest will definitely take you out. Somebody said something today. Well, it will just be the beginning of your downfall. They say you chase black car in the day, you won't find it, you can't find it in the night. The car was so black windshield, that the only car in the town. You all in the town, in the daytime, looking for the car, you can't find it. You think you can find it in there? Mr. President, there will be nothing good. I don't know if you can really change it because of your heart, your ego, your pride. You think by talking to your people is a sign of weakness. That's how you believe. But it's not truth. If you can go in a church and you still have that hard heart, your heart is so hard, Mr. President. It's too hard. You're not doing yourself good. Your people around you are not doing the right thing. You're not. People are hard. What did people want? What your citizen will have for Christmas? 2 weeks from now, there will be Christmas. What are they going to put on the table? What kind of gifts they're going to give their children? The little children now, all your officials, including yourself, sleeping with them because they are vulnerable. They are vulnerable. Sleeping with people's babies. They are vulnerable. That's the fact. That is the fact. If we don't do the right thing, our nation will suffer. Look, Liberia is a sweet place. Liberia is a blessed country. God bless that country. But let me tell you, the problem of Liberia today is just like the Israelis, the Israelites. They had no trust in God. They never believe in God. That is why they spend so long into that place there, into the wilderness. They spent long time there because they had no faith. They could not respect each other. They don't know who to be the leader. They look at people because this man is popular. That is why God, but we continue to bring the bad leaders. We don't look at people. You don't need to vote for someone because they are your friends or your relatives. You don't need it. When I went to Liberia, before I took that chance to go to Liberia to help my brother, I told him, I said, because I know he's a good man, but I told him, I said, people are going to say this about you, but I know you. But trust me, I will be the first one to go against you if you make one mistake. And if you don't win, there's a reason why you win. There is a reason. There's a reason why Costa never won. There's a reason why Joshua never won the first time. There was a reason. We don't know what was going to happen. We don't know whether Liberia is going to be standing today or not. We don't know. No decision is wrong or right until it is. So people who make the decision to vote for Joshua, we sometimes complain, but I personally will not hold it against you. That is why I will not still listen to you when you criticizing the man you voted for, because you put us into this mess. But thank God that you're saying it for other people to hear it, that you make us feel good, because we were the same one telling the Liberian people that do not vote for this man. Not everything that glitter is gold. Seeing someone from a distance and knowing about them is two different things. You don't have to. Liberians, we need to ask our leaders, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But Liberia is a different place when it comes to politics. Liberia is a totally different place. Liberians, if you don't stand up for yourself, nobody going to stand up. If you do not stand up, the American government will not tell Joshua anything. The French government, nobody will tell Joshua anything, because you need to stand up for yourself. You need to bring the war. Wartime have passed. The talking now, that's all intellectuals and whatsoever. The talking will change things around. Other countries, the citizens taking the steps and say, you know what? Because what we are doing now is not about Joshua anymore. It's about our future leaders. Liberia University have just graduated, I don't know how many students. What are the futures? What are the future of this student? Joshua thinking about it when he was sitting over there, when they gave him his honorary doctorate degree rope, when he was sitting in that place there looking at his students. This president ever thought on what would be the future of these children? Or to say, what are they going to do? They're just going to sit home. They're just going to pass around. And in that group of seditious, people from UP, people from ANC, all walks of life. What are the futures? We don't have nobody in Liberia to train. We ready to say, oh, this president sent 20 doctors out of the country. This president sent this other person to do this. Why you must lie? Why lie? Why? Scholarship have been in Liberia from day one. Yes. Oh, the first president who said tuition was free. Yes, everybody wanted. It was not CDC alone going to benefit, but it was the right time. No. During those time and other time, they said all agriculture students were free. Those who want to get into agriculture free. I believe that's why it's supposed to be done, that's how it's supposed to be done. You choose what, if you know that you're lacking because you want agriculture to be powerful, then you say, okay, if you want to go to agriculture college, it will be free for you. If you want to go to law school, it will be free. Depends on what you're looking for. That's a long-term program. Education is a long-term program, but the country benefits. Look at Japan, Korea today. Japan couldn't match Liberia. Japan used to come to us buy shrimp. Our number one business partner at the time with Mozzarella Fish Company. But look at us today. Look at us because of greed and power. We are into this mess and we still going into it. Other people suffered for us to reach this far, but they never enjoy it. And why other people get it? Yeah. You think today, if Baker Matthews was to be around, Twan Red, you think Joshua would be president? Or they were right now they're turning into their graves. They're turning around. He had a free ride. But that's life. If you can tell, if the people of CDC can just stand up and tell Joshua, Mr. President, you need, but he's not listening to you. The same thing. Y'all spoke about it and right after the election when they disgraced you guys, thinking that y'all will come back. And we said, you're wasting your time. That is the man we know about George Weah. You guys were talking about 12 years, but George Weah was talking about 1 year. George Weah's plan is to be 1 year, one-term president. One term. Because no two-term president will behave like George Weah. No two-term president will behave like George Weah. After the election, you refuse to go to the counties that you went to tell them thank you. So automatically, George Weah only looking for one term and go and sit. And let me tell you, just how George Weah retired from the game, that is how George Weah going to leave office. Because he hate criticism, and when he knows things is not working in his favor, he rather just politely walk out. That is how he walk out from the football game. Yeah. But our president went to church, have the opportunity to talk to the people, and you telling them, if any war come to their country, you will suffer. Is that the president we got? Is that the man who say he can protect the country? Is that the man who say that he think Liberia that his property or that his company, that he can say anything he want to say? Every profit, every money in our country belongs to him. That's how George Weah feels. And it's wrong. It's wrong. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. So, Liberians, we need to stand up. If y'all don't want to protest, it's up to y'all. Costa will be going home. You might say anything about Costa, whether you like him or not. But God knows why he's using Costa. I'm not saying Costa will be president. God can use Costa in this term, and don't even make Costa president, and don't even make him senator. You know what I'm saying? Because God look at your ways, your attitude. God look at you and see something in you. And let me tell you, when you know and you read about Abraham, Abraham's father never worshiped God. He worshiped idol. Idol. Abraham's father, the man who they say father of all nations, his name Abraham, worshiped idol. He never prayed to God. But when God got ready, he said, this is the man I will use. God used certain people to do certain jobs. He don't just take anybody. So God could be using Costa in this direction. But Costa Liberian, he not hiding it from you. He got a vision. God know why Costa never won the representative. Maybe he was not going to be the one to be talking like this. But God was going to raise somebody. If anybody tells you that you can make the difference in the Senate, you waste your time. You waste your time. Some people just want to be in the Senate for the rest of their life and get under their power and just want to take care of certain people and make it. Because there's nothing much you're going to do there. You got only one vote in the Senate. And let me say this. The citizen of Liberia can go around and put about 700,000 signatures, 10,000 signatures together and take it to the representatives. If he cannot get on the floor, he can't get on the floor. If Buffer Chimba say it will not get on that floor for impeachment, you wasting your time. That is the beauty of democracy. Who told you that the citizens should go to the Senate to impeach? Who told us that? Whether you can say it from now to Judgment Day, you got to get on the floor. They say you can remove your senators, you can remove your representative. If you know your representative is not representing you, you can put a signature together and remove them. Yes. You can go to the Capitol building and occupy and tell him to leave the office. That's what the Constitution says. You can tell the president to resign if he's not doing the right thing. Just that the president controls the army, the police, and everything. That's the difference. That's the only thing. He controls bulk of the thing, the money, everything comes to him. You see? So they don't have the money, so they only take bribes. They are not patriots. They are not patriotic citizens. They're only there for themselves. Some people fought to be senators and representatives because they look at the salary. Sir Joseph wanted to become senator because of the salary. He was not senator because of what he can do. Because in District 13, he did nothing in District 13. They had a big thing on him, Ebola hero. No. And people who never went to Liberia don't even know. That's a lie. What he did with the ambulance, he sold it, took it to Sierra Leone. What? Because his salary was going to increase from this to 15,000. Yeah. We sell our birthright because of rice. This government, from the day they came to power, they've been lying to the Liberian people. They lied, they brought rice, they say Propol rice for $10. They say the company is a Liberian-owned business, H&H. Joshua went there and cut the ribbons. What kind of lies you guys want? Joshua went there, the whole world saw it. Joshua went there and cut the ribbon. But when you look in that video, you see the commerce minister, minister of state, the deputy minister for trade, for trade, and Nyiman Wisner. PI was there. But where are the owners? Where are the Liberians who got this business? Right there, the president, the same time, coming to Christmas, the president requested for 2,000 bags. 2,000 bags the president requested for. Maggie took 500 bags. People in Liberia look for that rice, will send money to Liberia. They never saw that rice. That rice was given to whoever they wanted to give it to. Why? Why? This president rectified a deal. The Iboma deal. The speaker signed. That deal never went through. They went back to redo it, no. To undo it, no. It's sitting there. This president got a plane that he purchased for almost $30 million. Liberian people still don't believe it. Liberian people don't believe. Who in the world that gave you a plane to use as a friend? I really want to know. I really want to know. Who do that all the time? That just gave you the plane, say, oh, you can use the plane. And the plane sleep in different countries. When they're ready, they bring the plane over to you. If Moluba Molu can change, you can change. Akara Gray can change, you can change. Something got to make people change. And that's what happened when George Weah stopped speaking to them. That is when they realized that whatever they were doing, what they had been doing was wrong. Was wrong. The people of Liberia will protest. And I stand with the people. Whether George Weah stepped down or not, I will always stand with the Liberian people. Whether George Weah can step down, he don't step down, it's up to him. But Joshua will have to come to the table. He will come to his knees and say, this is what we will do. Not we will do together. Yes. Mr. President, what would take you if you if you fire Twe? What you think going to happen? What you think going to happen? You are afraid of Twe? You are afraid of Eugene? Namwe? Eh? You're afraid of Magir? What it did for you so much? Because forget about the corruption. Look what Donald Trump can send his people. They are so corrupt for Donald Trump to save his life and his legacy. He said, I don't give a damn about you. I don't even know you. I don't know you. Why will you do this, George? Going into a church. I remember the other time you went to the Liberty Church. The pastor said that you and your vice president should sit down and talk. Should sit down and talk. And this president went on stage, on the pulpit, and said, well, I heard what you said, but one thing I can tell you, even within the libraries, the council of churches, you don't speak to each other. See how so defensive he is? He is so defensive. So defensive. This is not fair, President Weah. You're not treating the people right. Things are hard. If you love the people, if you can't make it, you can't make it. This is not, nobody going to kill you for that. But it will help you to be a man, to stand up, take responsibility. Be a man, stand up to the Liberian people and say, this is it. Nobody said that, Joshua, you like a autopause, you got to stretch all over. No, you are the president. What do you think going to be in your annual message for this year? What is the achievement? What is our achievement? Our country, what we have achieved this whole year? You look at Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is not better than Liberia, but Sierra Leone right now is still in Africa when it comes to implementing law and order, fighting corruption. Because this man believed that when I can fight corruption, it will help our country. This man look for the bright and the brightest to come and help. He don't just take somebody who will just come and rob the country. But not the people that are doing the stealing, that's not the ordinary seditions. The stealing is coming from the president, Twe, Magil, and some of his surrounding, the Archibald and whatsoever. We still got Emmanuel Shaw. Hey, Joshua, man. Hey, Joshua. Emmanuel Shaw. Emmanuel Shaw was the last final minister on a door. He all helped to bring that man down. And you're right. Mr. President, you're right. If any war, they will leave first. You will be the last, or maybe you might stay like though. But Mr. President, nobody bringing war. How the people are not coming from the border to say we're coming to fight you. The people say we're going to protest. They told you already. They've been telling you in advance that we will protest. And some people say you must leave. That's it. That's it. But Liberians, you come to yourself, please. You come to yourself. If you don't do the right thing, it's on you. If you don't do the right thing, it's on you. We'll pray for custom so he cannot be harmed. But even if you harm custom, you're still not solving the problem. You might make the problem worse. Worse. So that is the fact. So, we all know what's happening. They got security all over the place in Liberia right now at the airport and whatsoever. Zolizo have not been confirmed. He's not yet been confirmed, but he's working already. He's carrying on some clandestine move. Eugene Falcon, all these people need to send message to them that if anything happens to any citizen of Liberia, we will see to that you don't come to this country. And if any government officials in that government try to do things, the blood of the innocent people will remain on your head, and your children will feel it, and they will pay for it. That is the real thing. Seriously. Yeah. Sometimes I sit and I wonder if our president, if something don't, it is whether it's spiritual, how can a man don't change? How? How? What really, 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 really wrong? What what the Liberian people did to him? What did Betty did? Eh? What they did? They did bad. They 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 they, they insulted him. They treated him wrongly. That he went there and just started to enrich himself. The man loved the country so much, but he could not even declare his assets publicly. What would be the big deal, Mr. President, when you tell the people that you had $10 in your account, or $20 or 10,000 in your account? What would be the big deal about what's so much big about it? You still going to be making your president money anyway. That's all. Sincerity, honesty, Mr. President. And also I come to the oppositions. Oppositions, you are not doing yourself well. You are not. I am not a member of any political party because of this situation. I supported Cummings, but he needs to double up. You cannot be behind. Look, Liberians people are funny people. They take advantage of situation and they might pin you in a way that they will say you are not there for them. Mr. Cummings, you got a right to say what you want to say. You can only say that ANC is not part of the protest, which I agree. But Mr. Cummings, you got the right to speak out against the bad leadership of the president. You need to come hard. But if you don't do this, something happen in our country, Mr. President, Mr. Cummings, it will be a hard thing for you. I'm telling you. Maybe you might not understand what I'm saying, but this is not, it got nothing, it's nothing personal. I supported you and I can still support you. But if you cannot come up, I know you make your own man, you take your time to make decisions. But if you cannot come out and talk to the Liberian people, let the people know that it got to come from your mouth. They want to hear you saying that George Weah is on the wrong path. If you want to get into politics, you can't be afraid. You can't be in the water and worry about getting wet. No. You cannot be in water and worry about getting wet. Yeah. This is not a boys' game. This is not a child play, Cummings. Seriously. Having all the little press conference, I want you to talk to Liberian people, but I want you to come up hard. Come out strong. And let the people know that you got balls. Let the people know that you man to speak out. We cannot just be talking. Your platform is good. I can tell anybody any day. And I can support you any day, anytime. But when you're not getting involved, if you're not involved into this situation, the Liberian people will feel that you left them. They abandon them. Because they will be the one going in the street and to criticize this president. If anything happens, you come to them, they will tell you the straight talk. Where were you when we were in this nonsense? Where were you when this president was treating us this way? You were right in Liberia. You refused to be part of it. Yes. You refused to be part of it. Having all the press conferences in Liberia, having all the, in America, having all the nice things, it still won't help. We can't act like we are the most civilized people in Liberia. We cannot. That the other people in Liberia are nothing. No. They are more important. They are important people. Every Liberian citizens are important. Every one of them. You see, that is the advantage that Costa have over anybody else. You got to believe in the people. You got to take responsibility. Look at Darius Dillon. You take responsibility when no things, when you see a little gap, you fill it up. You got your style of leadership, but it's not a corporate war. It's not corporate. It's not. It's not just to go and talk to the Liberian people and tell them that, oh, under my administration, we'll do this. But the people who are supposed to cast that vote, they're not feeling it. Members of ANC alone cannot make ANC to win election. Only ANC members cannot just come and not win election. Only Bernard Ure numbers, he will not win election. Only members from Unity Party will not win elections. But you got to come out and speak strong. Capitalize on it. Politics sweet, it's bitter. Yes, it's sweet, but it's bitter. I don't know what the advisors are doing. I went to Liberia. I went to ANC office 2 times on my own, trying to see if I can have an appointment with Cummings, to see if I can talk to him. But, oh, he's out of the country, and I'm not the kind of person to run after people. But I don't have to know you to support you. I don't know Costa, but you don't expect me to think like you. I look at people and see some seriousness, honesty in this person, like Darius Dillon, and I started supporting them. If they wanted to be a criminal, they could. But we just look at people and assume who they are. They're not in government. Why can't someone come out and say, Costa blackmailed me, I gave Costa 10,000, I gave Costa 15,000? Why somebody can come out? We sit down, Liberians don't make their own judgment. We don't make our own judgment. We allow people to think for us. Everything I'm saying here today, people taking it from out of me, they're not going to make their own research. They're not going to research to see if it's truth. They're not going to do that. Children are dying every day in our country from diseases, rape, and everything. The honest man in Liberia goes to jail and they claim criminal free and pass around. You go to central prison, see how many people in our central prison. No political, no government officials there. No. But we sit down, we still try to talk about the past. Oh, that Ellen. We all know. We all know it's Ellen. We're talking about you that saw it and you took it. You the one look at this woman with 12 children and say you want to marry her. And all the children were still small. Now you got to support them. Eh? Why the president would do this to the people of Liberia? Why? When this president was at the commencement, he sat down and looked and see if he was going through his mind. I know all that were going through George your mind. Man, let the damn thing be over so I can go enjoy myself, man. Oh, daily president business here. Let it be over. That's all. That's all what's going on. All. That's all. Okay, Ophelia say, wow, foolishness. See, these are some of the things. Let me read some of the comments. These are some of the things that really can get to me. That's your right to say foolishness. But what I'm saying, if you got no other response, you say it's foolishness. Now, it's foolishness that I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this is a woman, call herself Ophelia. Ophelia said it's foolishness. But when I tell Ophelia that she's very, very, very ignorant, arrogant, stupid, and she's a woman, I don't know if she's married, don't have respect for her husband in the home, then they will say I disrespected her. But anyway, I will let it pass by. I will let it pass by because I got 200 people up here, and you are the only person who just said something stupid. So that's good. We got about 200 people watching us. But let me say this today. Nobody against this president. One man can become president, only one at a time, not two. Every Liberian has the right to contest, but it is a privilege to serve. You don't serve because you think they love you or whatsoever. Sometimes they love you, they might not even vote for you. Or sometimes you might be the best, they might not even vote for you. But we are against the bad leadership. We're not saying that nobody here, no Liberians can come out and say that George Weah had everything in this government that Ellie never did. People thought that George Weah was just playing fool to gain wisdom. People thought that George Weah was playing fool to gain wisdom. Everybody say, "Oh, George Weah just want to take one." He told he will audit Ellie, but you guys caught it late. I caught it when George Weah fired every minister to deputy to assistant minister and instructed the personnel to take over. That is where it blew an alarm first. Then when I saw them going after the cars from government officials, where are the cars today? Where are the vehicles that they seize? So can a minister get 2-3 vehicles right now? How can just an ordinary CDC official get the government car with him? They think that they were in power, so they are the time. That's the time. Like the vice president said in Banga the other time when they just took over. That's our time. Yes, that's the time. We give them the respect. That's your time. You allow everybody to take the stuff and walk out. Took the computers, took other things, because, and up to now, you stay going through it to employ people. You brought in 15,000 more people. Every political appointee, yes, is from the president. But before you, most of the ministries, assistant ministers are technicians. These are the people, some of them were directors before. Yeah. But before you replace them, most of the time, the minister make that recommendation to the president, say, listen, we need to promote this guy here, director of finance. We need to make him assistant minister of finance to the next step. That's it. But everybody there just, and if you were assistant minister, if they wanted to remove you and replace you, that's his right. You are a political appointee. You're not a civil servant. You are not a civil servant. You are an appointee. You see that? So that's it. So everything started going bad. And the little money they saw into the coffers, it turned their eyes because they have never seen such a money. For Samuel 12, say, yes, I am in charge. And every one of them worked with this government. If this government was bad, look at, the president of Tanzania. He was once, I think, one of the commerce or transport minister in that government. When he took over, he capitalized on the weakness of the past regime that he served in. Yes, he served in that regime. And today, look at him. Okay? George Weah worked with Ellen Johnson. Maggie worked with Ellen Johnson. Every one of them. George Weah was senator under Ellen Johnson. They all work. Mambutu Nyipa. All these people work with Ellen. So, and they knew what Ellen was doing. Joshua was right there when they approved the printing of the $16 billion. That he gave them $5 billion, and then they went and printed another one. But you see, that's the money that's coming out now. I don't know Weeks' signature, because the signature on that money, whether it's Weeks. But these people lie so much, and I can put my own little case together and say that this money was printed by another group, and you told them to put there 2017. So people would think that this money was printed 2017. It is possible. Government can do things. You want to, or they were printing counterfeit money in Lebanon that they brought to that country. Access Bank was one of the banks that people say had a lot of counterfeit liberty. So they could go to another company and say, listen, just print us some money, but we'll put on it 2017. That government, they can do it. They can. Instead of you paying some of the people, you worry about the representatives, you worry about elected officials. No, President Weah. Why you worry about elected officials and when you got teachers? Teachers. Everybody is important in our country. Everybody. But the most important people in our country, the nurses, the doctors. We just sit and lie. We're not saying that you can do all this, but all these are all recommendations people been bringing out from day one. JFK, we ever sat down to understand what JFK was all about? JFK was almost like a research hospital for West Africa. JFK named after the president or former president of the United States. We can promote it. Even like what I get was saying, and I concur with her, where they even executed the 13 officials. That could be a historic place. It mean that it was right. And today, where they have Mandela in jail, they closed that place down. People go there and see it. Robben Island. Where the slaves went through in Senegal, or they still have it. Why didn't close it? It was wrong, but they kept it there for history. For our children, the pole is still there, but they could preserve that place. And look at Providence Island. Le Piso. Providence Island, where I remember when we used to go there Christmas time. We were there when one of our friends fell off. He was trying to jump to bypass the security and came all the way down. Culture Center. Where is Judy Andy? They all into politics, lying for the government. She's one of the person who everybody, you can hear nothing good about Judy Andy. Only there to enrich yourself. Take these children and give them a few late dollars and just take the bulk of money for herself. She's culture ambassador for life. Culture Center. Culture Center. I remember we go on the beach. We used to go to Culture Center on Saturday, Sunday to go watch people dancing. Yeah. But anyway, I've come to the end of this program. I was just testing. This is the LRTN. And there will be a time I will be going for and breaks and whatsoever. But sorry, I never took a break this time. So I'm sorry, my studio guys are sleeping right now. So I want to go back to studio. And I want to say thank you very much for watching. And this is the LRTN, operated by the Sharing Foundation. And we will be doing a lot of stuff. We'll be having sponsors. We'll be giving the news. We'll be going through comedies and a lot of things. So the LRTM now is not just the ordinary Facebook that you can just come in and say, oh, money, bring me out. But we will be doing what is right for the people. We'll be bringing out news. So the CEO for this company is Joseph Anderson. I got a spot on there. It's not free. And I'm sorry that I had to go out and taking a break. But we're trying to, it's just a test. I'm on a test transmission right now, maybe for the next 1 week. But I want to say thank you again and share this video. And also my page is still open, but share it and let us speak out, my people. If we speak out, it will be sweet. And I also saw my friend there, my Reverend and Henry Peabody. I want to say congratulations for your honor. He was honored as honorary. He got an honorary doctorate degree in humanity. This young man is doing some stuff in Liberia. And I want to say thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Hold on a minute. Hello? Okay, I'm going to open the line. I know someone have just called this number. And I was, I said I was on test transmission. But thank God my studio is still open. So I know my technicians, they are still there. So I'm going to post the number. Okay, guys, I think I will be able to take. So I'm going to go to break and I will be back in the next few seconds. I will be back. So let's just take a little 2 minutes break.
B2Y2. Jesus' son. Vivian. Just Prince on the beat. Oh my God. My soul cry out to you, oh God.
Come on.
You my rock, Papa, you are my strength. Hey, my strong tower, you cover me with your wings. I give you the glory. Your blessing forever, I will receive it. Hey God, my defender, my strong tower, you never been like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Praise the Lord, I will say, truly my soul, truly my soul, I will wait upon God. From He come at my salvation. Truly my soul, truly my soul, I will wait upon God. From He come at my salvation. Blessing me, God. You've been blessing me, God. Every day, Baba, yeah, you never fail. I give you the glory. Your blessings forever, I will receive it. My defender, my strong tower, you never think like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Hallelujah, yeah. And that's why I thank you for everything. Yeah. Truly my soul, truly my soul, yeah. I will wait upon God. I will wait upon God. For He come at my salvation. Truly my soul, truly my soul, I will wait upon God. Blessing me, blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. Victory, victory, overflow. Victory, victory. I will wait. Hey, I will wait. Hey, hey, I will wait. Hey, I will wait. Hey, blessing me, victory. Blessing me, blessing me, blessing me, blessing me. Victory, victory, overflow. Victory, victory. I will wait. Hey, I will wait.
Okay, thanks, guys. I'm back, and I just went for a little quick break, and I'm back. And I think I got a caller on the line yet. And caller, hello.
Yes, hello.
Okay, yes. Can you call your name and tell me where you're calling from?
This is Benjamin Senzi.
Oh yeah.
Currently in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, welcome to the LRT, and this is the General Show, Conversation with the General. I want to say thanks for coming up. And what is your take? Because I know you've been watching the show and you listen to what I've been saying, and I know you are one of those who endorsed George Weah, a former chairman of Liberty Party, and you also work with him. So can you just elaborate and just let the people hear from you? Because I'm happy that you on today.
Well, let me thank you for the show. I'm a huge fan of yours, and
Thank you.
Your show. I've been following you. Also, Fox, who is your brother, who is like a big brother to me, also.
Okay.
And you are right. In 2014, actually, I ran for the Senate against George Weah, against President Weah. Came third. It was me, Robert Salih. You know, Robert Salih
Yes.
ran.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I was the first to stand up and challenge.
George, I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
But like I said, we went to the elections in 2017. I always like to remind people. Let me first of all just a brief memory to Councilor Bromskin, who was buried over the weekend.
Yes.
I wasn't able to make it. Just my schedule for school. I'm back in school actually.
Okay.
I'm back do another degree. So I just couldn't get enough time, but my heart was there. So I'm sure you two followed.
Yes.
But I just wanted to say, for 2 years prior to the elections, we fought hard. We campaigned at the Liberty Party. You said it. You supported the ANC. Everybody was on different sides.
Yes.
One of the things that one of the campaigns that we ran was very, very clear on the fact that we wanted change. We wanted a break from the Unity Party. We wanted something different about democracy for the first time in 72 years or 74 years. One democratically elected president turning over to another democratically elected president.
Yep.
And then there's something else that people don't know. That is it was for the first time in 106 years.
Yes.
That one a ruling party was turning over to an opposition.
Yes.
So for us, we thought it was
a history.
An opportunity. Yeah, it was an opportunity for us. And like I always like to tell people, when we made a decision to endorse the CDC, obviously that was a decision that split our party into half. I want to go as far as saying that it caused some really, really deep scars in our institution. But for us, it was the fact that we felt that we had made a commitment. We went to Ganta. We made a commitment that we're going to support the opposition.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why we did it. And I'll tell people, I say, even personally, even though everything in me, myself, was doubting the ability that then Senator Weah had what it took to govern our country. But then there was another concept that I thought about, General, that maybe I could have been wrong. I always tell people, I said, look, the level to which George Weah plays soccer, I don't believe George Weah is stupid. I don't believe he's dumb.
You're right.
I believe George Weah is smart. I don't think you play soccer to that level being dumb. I'm sorry. To conquer the world, to become world best.
Yeah.
There was something in me, I remember during the period when we were making the decision, I said, look, maybe this guy's going to prove all of us wrong. Maybe this guy, the competitive side of him is going to come out. The side where he's a spokesperson. He's somebody who don't want to lose. So, athletes are built in a way where when you say they can't do, that's when they do.
Yep.
Exactly. So for me, there was a little component in there. So that's why even when I endorsed him, if anybody followed that speech that I gave, I warned him in that speech. I said to him, you cannot let your people down.
Okay, thank you, Senvi. I repeat that all the time. I remember that speech.
Yeah.
That was your last one. You said, Mr. President, do not let your people down. Yes.
I was very clear with him. And so I know, obviously everybody knows where I stand right now. When after the elections, I got appointed on the board of LPRC. And I stayed there. I think I spent about 6 or 7 months on that board. But 3 months within that government, I literally started to see some of the things that we're talking about today. And
Yep.
I never accept the comfort of silence. I think President Weah owes it to our people.
Yep.
Look, the last conversation I had with President Weah, without going in personal detail, because I want to respect that aspect
Yeah.
of it. But I remember the last set of conversations we had, it was right around right after the July 26th. And what was striking to me was when I saw the SKD. Mind you, General,
Yeah.
it was that same
SKD. Yep.
that a few months prior, everybody in the entire country descended on SKD to watch President Weah get inaugurated as president. The hope, the optimism, the anxiety, the feeling that something different had come up. I told President Weah, I said, your people raise you up. Your people themselves raise you up. The people themselves saw themselves in you. To see all of that hope evaporate in less than a year, for me, it was telling. And my message to him was very simple. God cannot come down to talk to people.
Yep.
Many times leaders make this mistake where they feel they want to be intransigent, they want to hold, they want to dig in and do the wrong thing. Look, President Weah, I told him, and I will continue to say it. There's no way George Weah was going to be an ordinary or typical Liberian president because of the way he became president.
Yeah.
His people, the average person, look at where the country is today.
Yeah.
It's almost like George Weah came into power with a vengeance
Yeah.
to take everything down, everything from the accountability institutions. The only thing that President Weah built up were properties.
Yep.
Was his personal thing. And for me, it wasn't. I just couldn't stay there. I just couldn't see those things. And I'm one of those people who would just sing along. I'm not one of those people, especially knowing from where we've come from. And I know I've caught a lot of flack. from people who believed in me before,
Yep.
from people who said, you had no business supporting him. You had no, and I always tell people, I said, listen, I own up to me. I will own up to whatever decisions that I made. But in the end, I know Liberia is not going to die.
Yes.
I know Liberia is not going to die. And I know that's the reason why we all have to stand up. And that's why it's important, the kind of work that you do. Costa is a brother of mine. I'm a strong supporter, member of the governing council of the COP. Look, this issue, and it was disappointing. I'm glad you brought it up when you're talking about what he said in the church today.
Yeah.
And when I listened to that thing, I just shook my head,
Yep.
General. And I said, every opportunity this man gets, he blows it.
Yep.
He blows it away. What is all of a sudden? What is this constant noise about the war drum?
War.
Everybody bringing war. Who's bringing war to Liberia? Nobody's bringing war to Liberia. Look, President Weah needs to understand that he's governing a country in the 21st century.
Yes.
He's not governing a country in the 60s. Can you imagine if Bacchus Matthew didn't have Facebook?
I tell you.
Imagine, General?
I tell you.
Bacchus Matthew didn't have Facebook. And guess what? Those guys were able to effect change.
Yep.
They were able to bring a whole system down. Just think about where we are
Without
today.
Facebook. Yep.
Think about where we are today. And so it is sad. I listened to the president today, and once again I shook my head.
Yep.
Because I see a man who is lost. I see someone who is held hostage. When I listened to Mother Molu speak the other day, I feel for Moluden. And the reason I feel for Moluden is because I know how hard they work to get to where they are.
Yep.
For them to see all of this being blown up in the air, it takes smoke. This rush for wealth, this grab for power, this instant gratification thing the president is on. You can't continue to do that and expect for people to just sit and listen. So for me personally, I was moved. I don't normally call on these shows, but when I listened to you, there was something you said that was very striking to me. When you said that we owe it to our country.
Yes.
Look, I'm 38 years old. I'm a husband. I have 3 children. And I told somebody the other day, and I said this to the president 1 or 2 times. We had some exchange. And I said, if I cannot be real with you, look, General, my favorite quote from Martin Luther King.
Yes.
My favorite quote from Martin Luther King. And I reminded President Weah about this quote. I said, in the end, quote unquote, in the end, we will not remember the voices of our opponents, or
Yes.
people who we perceive as our opponents, but we will remember the silence
Yeah.
of our friends.
That's
Those
it.
people who you have around you who think they are your friends and they're not saying what they need to say to you. Those are the people you should be afraid of. You should embrace and build a network of truth tellers around you. People who at the end of the day, there will always be sycophants. There will always be people who will come and tell you everything is okay. But at the end of the day, go in your closet, look yourself in the mirror, and ask those truth tellers what's really going on. And it's just sad that the country is where the country is. But I believe that at the end of the day, Liberia is going to rise. We're going to do what we have to do. Our people, I don't think President Weah is up to the task. And that's why I have personally said it. I'm one of the people who have said, if you cannot lead our country, resign. There's nothing wrong with asking
There's nothing wrong.
to resign.
It's not a crime. Yeah.
Stop this thing. And there's something wrong and there's a war coming to the country. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
No war's coming to Liberia. We're not going to kill ourselves again.
No way.
The people protested on June 7th peacefully. Peacefully, the people protested on June 7th. And so for me, like I say, I know there's a lot of sentiments, there's a lot of anxiety, but I believe within my soul that the brightest days of Liberia is still ahead of her.
Yep.
And I know that if we work together, I know that if we're able to harness what we want to harness, I know if we're able to get a leader who is selfless, a leader who can think beyond the next election, but think about the next generation, I know we will ultimately get it. Unfortunately, that leader is just not George Weah.
Yeah.
He's proving that he's not that leader.
He's not.
He's proving that he's selfish. He's proving that it was all about him. He's proving that this was not about change, that this was about a chance to live the life that he always dreamed of. That's all George Weah is interested in. That's all President Weah is interested in. And it's sad. It's sad. And for me, like I say, I will continue to speak out.
Speak
I
out.
will continue
Yep.
to use my voice wherever way I can use it.
Yeah.
And in the end, let the chips fall where they are.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you, General. I know.
Thank you,
I know,
Sammy.
You
Thank
probably
you.
have other
Yep.
people trying to call in.
Thank
but
you.
I want to thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you.
I want to encourage you, and I want you to keep your head up.
Thank
like
you very
you
much.
said, our country will rise again.
Yes.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. And anytime you see me on, you also share it. And let us just continue the fight. People will say whatever they want to say, but listen, always remember that last thing you told President Weah. I can still remember, and I say all the time, when you said, don't let your people down, that one of the last statement you pull out. And that is what, and today, he never listened and he letting his people down. So thank you very much, and stay good and stay calm with the family, and let us do what we can do. Yeah, my brother.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you. God bless you. And God
Okay.
bless you too. And
Okay.
good night to everybody.
Okay, thank you. Yes, that's what Sanvi. I think you all know him. He contested for the Senate in 2014, and he was very tough. And he was the first person who stood up to George Weah in 2014, before even Robert Sirleaf came in. So I can still remember him. And he came to the States. He worked hard, went back. But you see, these are some of the things we're saying. We in America, we will support our family back home. But what about the people who are there who don't have no relatives? What do you think the problem is? How are they going to survive this Christmas? Look, I will say it, and I'm convinced that Liberia is a blessed country. Liberia is blessed. And I never see country that can come together within no time. Other countries had all kinds of problems. But it's just that the people, and we always got the bad leaders. We always bring people in. We don't have to know you to vote for you. We don't have to know you. Only one man can be president at a time. One man. The people say they wanted Joshua. I would not hold no sedition responsible on people for your failures. I would not. Because they say you can take the cow to the river, but you can't force the cow to drink. You can't force the cow, but you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that this individual will not do it. This president, you saying that this president want to go to a 2-term or 3-term, no. I will tell you now, from my view, George Weah only was looking at 1 term. Forget about all his bad leadership. Because if a man wins election and cannot go to the counties and tell them thank you, he's still in Monrovia. He's in Monrovia. He's not going anywhere. He don't go anywhere to tell people thank you. So what do you think he was talking about? That's just 1 term. He really wanted to be president? No. He don't even have the empathy to feel he's in the... No, I will still ask the same question at the graduation ceremony of University of Liberia. Joshua was sitting over there. What came through his mind? that the future of the children, the people who graduated? No. I bet you what was in his mind was to leave that place and go enjoy himself. That's all. To go sit with his friends. That's it. So let us stop fooling ourselves and singing praises for nothing. People in America, people in Europe, and people, you that are out of Liberia, you're supposed to teach your people back home. But the people who going back, they're people who don't care. And I respect him. I heard that when he resigned, because he could stay there and get his money from the board, the LPRC. But not everybody will sit in there and see the wickedness, because it's not no corrupt, it's just wickedness. Now today, look at Molu. I said it the other day. These guys work. Forget about us. We're not seditions. But these guys stood up. They worked for 12 years. They wish that Joshua could have done what they wanted. If Joshua wanted to appoint all sedition, fine. That's his responsibility. But let them do the right thing. Now God worked in a mysterious way. Because of the relationship between they and Joshua, that is why they came this far. Joshua refused to talk to them. But when we told them that Joshua didn't want to talk to the country, he didn't want to speak to the country, now he turned to his own people. He turned to his own people. He can't talk to Molu since the election. And I told my friends, Alfonso the other day, I said, Joshua will never change. Whether you can knock yourself down, you come up, Joshua will not change. Nothing moves him. He will not take the responsibility as a leader. There's no, look, leader got to take responsibility. Leader has to take responsibility. You got to accept the problem. You got to accept there is a problem before you can solve the problem. It's just that you got to discover the problem to solve the problem. If you cannot discover the problem, you can never solve the problem. In your own life, if you don't discover the problem, you can never solve the problem. So you got to know which type of problem is that. So please, Liberians, let us do what is right for our country. We can work together. We can do it together. But if Joshua leaves today, will Liberia change? No. But will Liberia maybe have better things? I think so, yes, because people will understand what we're doing today is not about Joshua. It's about the future leaders of Liberia. People who sitting on the fence, who want to be president. You know what I'm saying? Listen, let's call spade a spade. And I will go back to the opposition again. They are not doing the ordinary people justice. They are not fighting, neither talking for these people. They are all trying to portray their good images. They are all trying to say, oh, I will do this, my platform is this. Listen, Liberian politics is not the American politics. In America, we got the second class, the first class, we got people who hustling, we got people who on welfare. Liberia, there's no welfare. There's no welfare in Liberia. So the man catching hard time and you can't come to his aid, you're not talking for him. Did not even hear you criticizing Joshua. Tomorrow when the election starts, don't get mad. Because they will put it in your face, say, where were you? So people who are here under my voice, and you know you from ANC, you from Liberty Party, you from UP, you from LPDP, or what kind of P, talk to your people who want to run for president. Let us stop this thing that we are better than people. What's going on in Liberia today, don't overlook it. It might have serious effect in the next 23 election. It will. People will start putting it in your face. Liberian people, don't take them for granted. I'm telling you, they are different people. They are different. We must say everything about Henry Costa or whatsoever. I'm not saying that what Henry Costa is doing, God is going to make Henry Costa president. No. I'm not saying that God is going to put him in a position. But God is using him to do a particular job. And if God going after that job, you don't know if God is going to take him to the next steps. Like I was talking to someone, the person said, Henry Costa, if anything, the Liberian people say they want for Henry Costa to be president. I said, well, I'm not thinking about it. I said, she said, because that Henry Costa man, we're looking at it, and when he insists things up, I say, yes, that's how some leaders behave, although it's not for Liberia. But when you say, let us build this place, we should build it. You know what I'm saying? Leaders, look, you're not going to get good names. Do you know why they give president securities? They give you the best security ever because you will be making decisions that people will not be happy about. You can't be an ordinary man, make a decision. I'm an ordinary man, I don't have a security. I go to the post, I will cut your pay. They will whip me in the street. They will whip me in the street. By the time they see me, they will jump on and whip the hell out of me. But they gave you security because they know the president will make some tough decisions that will not be easy. Yes. Let me make everyone know. Talbot had his problem with his own people, the Two-Way party. Sometimes when I see this, people say, well, how you know these stories? Because I have all big friends, older friends. The problem Talbot had with his people, when Talbot told the Two-Way party that it is rep, we must get prepared for a multi-party, not one party anymore. Talbot brought it back to 2-term, 4 years. Because Talbot, I think it was from 1957, we had one-party system in Liberia until Doe took it out. But Talbot was preparing for the multi-party. Talbot had already brought the election now to 2-term, 4 years. But his people could not accept it that they were ready. They were not ready. They were never ready for no multi-party. So his own people, technically, Mike Dishie was running the government. Mike Dishie was the party chairman. According to history, and from what I gather from people, when Talbot announced and Jackson F. Doe as his vice president, they went to the E.J. Raw building. Jackson Doe sent for his people all over the place. He brought his family, all the Gio, the Mano people, man, they were there happy. Mike Dishie sent for Talbot. He said, "Your call Boy Willie there for me." He said, you know what he told Boy Willie? He said, "You crazy? You going?" Just imagine party chairman telling the president that you going out of your head. Do you think we're ready to turn this country over to the country people? Do you think we're going to sit there and give it? He said, "But what you want to do?" I just told him, man. He said, "Listen, you the president, you will have to go back and solve that problem." And then the only person they thought about was Benny D. Warner, Bishop Warner. They thought Bishop Warner was a conga man, but Bishop Warner was actually a Bassa man. He used to give the government hard time. Frank Talbot recommended Warner. And Talbot came out that night and said that the Lord spoke to him that he should hold on. He should hold on, and then he will find a new vice president. Look, that thing almost killed Jackson Doe. Almost killed Jackson Doe. I will tell you today. And Jackson Doe family were over there, could not believe it. Could not believe it. And now, later on, what they did, Bishop Warner actually came in exile, but they said he was sick. Look, the Liberia story is too long. We ourselves don't know it. There was coup in coup. There were 2 coups in Liberia. People don't know. They had the Samador coup and they had the Jebo coup. And the Jebo coup, Cesar Dennis should have been president because according to our constitution at the time, it was not a vice president. When after a coup taking place, it was not a speaker because the vice president was out and then the president gone. The foreign minister would take over. The foreign minister left. He went to Mozambique and Zimbabwe for the OU conference and came back that night and went and sat down in foreign ministry waiting for the coup. That is how he came up. People thought that after the coup, no. Cesar Dennis never entered Liberia after the coup. He was in Liberia. He arrived in Liberia that night before the coup. I know some older people will be out here and they will tell me, they will know that what I'm saying is truth. But Liberian people never knew about it. Doe was not part of the process. And the coup of Doe for Doe and overthrow, the entire thing, they never planned it within or 6, in fact, less than 6 months, it was planned. Because you know why? When they heard that after the OAU conference, Bacchus Matthews and others were going to be killed, they were going to kill them. That's so that one of Talbot official went to the post stacket, and what his name? He went there and he went to Bacchus and said, "Listen, I just want to tell you that I am not part of it, but the president and other people have decided that when he comes from OAU conference, they will kill you people If you can do anything, you'll do it. Some guys heard it. That is how they started planning. And I can sit there and give you the whole story what happened when people say the white man killed this and this and that and this and that. But Jebo should have been the one to do it. And Jebo was supposed to be a chief of staff, and then Cesar Dennis was going to be the president. Cesar Dennis had a security guy with him, or SS guy with him. The guy told him, said, Chief, they gone a year into the mansion. I don't think so. He said, oh, don't worry. He said, let's go Sierra Leone. That man stay alive today. Oh, there's another man, he live in Trenton. So you see, our stories are bad. When we don't know the story. Even when it came to the Doe, when the top of Purangpa came in and arrested Doe and put Doe in cuff and McQueen losing Doe, that's a lie. McQueen never saw Doe. If anybody know the guy they call Richard Tapper. Richard Tapper, I was very close to Colonel Richard Tapper, SSS. The guy who used to hold the grip behind, that man said he would never go back to library. He worked with Talbot. He worked with almost everybody. Special attendant to the president. He worked with the United Nations and one of the chief security at the UN. He go to Nigeria. That crew man said no more. Yes. Doe was never arrested. I went to BTC. I saw General Purangpa put his foot up. Sitting there, everybody in the street. When that thing changed, 1 o'clock, I can still remember the name. General Wilson, and what he said, General Wright is here. The guy who took over that radio station, they call him Colonel Wilson, a global man. You know, you can broadcast from the executive mansion on shortwave, on FM. They can broadcast there. People don't know. Charles Boyan was killed right in the executive mansion because of videotapes. So you see where we came from? But yet still, our president, I don't know if he know all these stories. I don't know when he know all these things. He don't know. Bacon Matthews, the father of Liberian democracy, they're not Ellie Johnson. Bacon Matthews then fought for that thing. He's one of the politicians, I can tell anybody any day, Bacon Matthews, one of the politicians who said, listen, we are not enemies. He said, I can still remember Bacon Matthews when he spoke on VOA. He said, war will not solve our problem. If we can come to the table and go and defeat Doe in 1991, and Doe himself came out and said, I would not contest 1991. Can we come to the table? Liberian people said, no. Now, the innocent people now standing up for their rights, because at that time we could not stand up for our rights. You could not even stay in front of Doe because nobody knew what was going on. Doe had the gun. I remember when Doe banned. Just imagine a president banning a political party. The UPP members said we're going to demonstrate back on mafia. I can still remember in Nukutan. I know people want to, how you know all the stories. He said, you can't go in the street. He said, Doe got the guns. We don't have the guns. We cannot protest. We cannot argue against the government. Everybody had things to say for Bako Matthew. Bako Matthew need to live. Bako Matthew was the poorest politician in Liberia. Poorest. He never built a house. He never built a house. But we read it today, we say, oh, Bako Matthew brought a rest riot. Go and listen to the tip. What Bako Matthew said. I changed the story small. Because we got to know all these things for our future. He said that rice, they can, and which is true. Presently, you can buy a rice for $9, $6 in China, and bring it to Liberia and sell it for $10. The least rice in China you can buy for either $4 per bag. That's in 25 pounds. He said you can buy a rice over there. I listened to that tape and I said, but where in this tape that the people said that Bako Matthew said he would bring rice? And do you know how all the rice licensed in Liberia during Topotown was all the Talbot family that was selling rice in Liberia. Or all. The people only stood up when Danny Dempster is related to Bacchus Matthew. He met Bacchus Matthew on Camp Johnson Road, around Perry Street area there, and went to Bacchus and said, listen, you got to leave. Bacchus was picking up all his people and said, you got to leave. You got to leave now. The president have authorized that we should shoot, but not to kill. Anybody want to come, they should shoot from the waist down. And who did the first shooting was Vanny Dempster. But when Vanny Dempster shot in the air, everybody thought Vanny Dempster had just given an order. And Booster Quarter, that's where they massacred people. But people never knew about it. And how everything just went head to scatter. So the protest in Liberia that day, it was peaceful until the government started to shoot. And I had people went all over, the people went on rampage. Y'all listen to it. When the government was the first that shot at the protester between Camp Johnson Road and UN Drive, going up to the mansion. They were marching to the mansion. They were not going to enter the mansion, but they wanted to give a petition. They were striking for that thing business, for the president to take action. But Toba was vulnerable too, because Toba never had security. You all know how Toba invited the Guineans to come and help. That is how people knew that Toba was vulnerable. And the people that did the overthrowing, it was easy. Very easy. It's just that they were arrogant and they were that hatred about country. And at that time, countrymen was together. When they say the native men, they were together. They were together. That because of that, that coup came to place. Because they believed that the people they were going to kill that day, they were going to kill when Toba came back, they were all indigenous Liberians. They were all Liberians and country people. That is why Koyongpa and Do was in Todi when they brought him down. But he was the only sergeant. Do was not in the group upstairs. He was in an ambush waiting to see what was going to happen. I can even tell you who was the unknown soldier. He was a Loma man. But people don't know about it. People don't know all these stories. But we say that, we say, oh, one Chinese make it, and they make the president, and call Do and put Do the ban, and Do the president. You know how it works? But all these things, we got to know about them. When you know about these stories, it's easy. Liberia is a blessed country. Just imagine we fought a war, 250,000 people, and Liberians pick up their lives within no time. We are forgiving people. If we can sleep, eat, die with Prince Johnson, George Bole, Alaji Koroma, all the other people there, we don't worry about them anymore. Who is George Weah? That our president, that the people voted, the youth saw themselves in George Weah. They look at him and say, this was the guy who used to play soccer for us. This man will stand for us. Joshua was so disciplined when it came to soccer. He goes on his practice ground on time. Joshua have never turned down no football game in his whole life. He never turned down Lone Star game, no IE game. But today, Joshua going to work 11 o'clock and leaving work 12 o'clock. Joshua go to work 11 and leave 12. And say, is there anything for me to sign? Nothing here for cheese, okay. But he say, when he entered the office, when he passed, he asked the secretary, he said, any ribbon, any groundbreaking? They say, no, chief. Where Maggie, they say, oh, Maggie went down the place, so where Weston got because all in foreign ministry. He said, listen, he passed, he went in the office, then he tell Kalasco, he said, my man, take my picture, man, let me see. Then he was sit behind the desk. Then he opened a big book. Then he take a picture of and he said, looking, my man, looking cool, eh? I'm saying it, that is how Joshua is speaking. When I used to do Joshua picture, he said, when you take my picture, how you looking? Then he'll go stand, he and husband, he'll go stand by the piano. He said, looking, I said, yeah, he said, let me see it. You know, my son, when I take my son picture, he said, let me see it. So when I take your picture, he said, let me see it, correct? Yeah, okay, take it again. I'm telling you, truth. When he entered the office, every day Joshua entered his office in Liberia, he take one picture. Every day. Not even once or two or three. He would take pictures. That boy got more pictures than even the people who... He got more pictures than Donald Trump. He got more pictures. Joshua had more pictures than any celebrity in the world. The only picture we see here when he's shitting. Or he in a room. Because other pictures are also fake pictures, you know. But these things... Then today, our president had the opportunity. He went to church. The other day, the president came from UN. United Nations. Every president that leave that place, when they enter, they will brief their country. Our president went to the Georgia Parton Church, and the only thing he told the people, he said, Lord God is good. He said, God is good so much I celebrated my birthday in 3 countries. And 4 hours in Dubai, 3 hours in Ghana, and the rest of the hours in Liberia. Don't ask me, because God is wonderful. Mr. President, you know that plane? You took the plane from New York they stopped in Dubai. Then you pick up from Dubai, you went to Ghana, and then you came home. What one that one got to do again? What that blessing got to do with you to celebrate your birthday? Then today, our president went to church. Everybody say yes. This man will say something today. The way Liberian people are so forgiving. Then you open your mouth and tell the people that when walking in the country, I will suffer. My minister there, all of them will get a chance to leave. What? Yes. The people will suffer when walking. Who talking about war? April, okay, let's go to April 14, the rest riot. All the way the people looted the place. That was war. It was that a war. The April 14 rest riot took anybody into refugee camp? No. It was the innocent citizen against the government who messed up, who blundered. That is why the people asking for security. Deploy your security to all the people businesses. Because the people are going to start going slow from next week, Mr. President. This is the first time in history you force the people, you say, close school down. How you close school down like this? Because you want for the trend to, the trend say, but if you keep them in school, they will not protest. You don't know what to do, man. I don't understand the guy. Yes. But it is serious. Your seditions, I saw another group they call it Concerned Citizen to the Protection of George. You are president. Say, what's that? You are all sedition. Look, you are sedition. We know. Don't change your name. Why you want to change your name? You call yourself Concerned Women for the Protection of George. We are. What's that? Eh? Yeah, hi, caller. And where you calling from? What's your name?
From Pennsylvania.
How are you, my brother? You on the LRTN with the general? And I know you've been watching the show. What's your take on what I've been saying?
I've been following your show forever, but it's just like today my first time calling.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And also, I want to appreciate you guys on the social media that try to educate our people
Thank you.
on unfolding situation in our country.
And thank you too for watching and giving the support. I want to say thank you. So this is the thing. The president went to church today, and I think he had the opportunity to talk to the Liberian people, but instead he just told them that if walk in the country, you will suffer because me and my official then we get the opportunity of leaving, so we can leave.
My brother, let me tell you one thing. This particular CDC group that administering the affair of our country, they ain't ready, they ain't prepared, they ain't got no plan for us. And they keep saying, oh, war will come. We should dialogue. That will keep the peace. Between you and myself, how do we keep the peace? We should keep the peace when people can't take pay for 1 year.
Yeah.
We should allow Georgia to complete a balance 4 years when people can't take pay. So are you telling us that the Ministry of Education, the education system will lock down for the next 4 years where teacher will not be able to take pay?
Yeah.
Well, Akawa Greek got $1 in New Jersey,
Yeah.
right next door to Pennsylvania, where I live, going to good school. When Tomo Fala got $1 in Pennsylvania, going to good school. Why the children in the MCS and taught more hard? In GW Gibson,
Yeah.
they hardly get teacher to go to class to teach them.
And they just closed the school down.
Then you say we should keep the peace. We should keep the peace. A man to National Housing Authority are not taking pay for 1 year.
1 year.
So you're telling that man to sit down and wait for you for the next 4 years of all pay?
Wow.
That's why telling also you and myself who bring in the war.
Yeah.
So are they telling us where in this war can somebody go to work for many months for all taking pay and say, okay, this? How will that man feed his children?
How you feed your children?
How will he pay his rent? Assuming that I get also living. I'm renting my 2 room with me, my wife, and my children. How will I pay my rent when I'm working? I can't take pay. So what the peace is in Liberia, when you all the constitution ever asks you that people should work for you all taking pay.
That's a good one.
Now what the constitution say? And they say, oh, the constitution say you're trying to remove are you going to say democratically elected government? So Chelsea will misbehaving in Liberian post, they know what they're talking from there. Then they'll ask a question, so when you take your way from there, who do you have? Oh, So the millions of Liberians, over close to 5 million Liberians, Joe, we are the only person that can run our country.
But any guy vice president, they didn't let the vice president do. So
So George, when I ask the question, when George we are working for money because I soccer in play,
Yeah.
in France play, how many times ever when we all pay? When he went to Italy, how many times ever play AC Milan or Chelsea or all them paying on the more and they say, oh my man, you know it's not easy long wait. How many times? Then we come to Liberia, George we are served as peace ambassador.
thank you.
He have $5 million budget. 2 years. Wherein that more than George we are not guy pay as peace ambassador. Then he transitioned to the national legislature as senator for Mosarala County for 3 years. How many times George we are all complaints to the RTP? I get my gas allowing. So why would people treat other people and feel that your condition is insensitive, it ain't important? But other people better than you. Then people say, oh, and Jefferson Kujine and Akawa Green guys, they are not live kind of life. So when anybody make any attempt to fight to them, Liberia does not belong to anybody.
No.
1822, when they established a country called Liberia, they didn't give the deed to any family to secure the country for you.
No.
And for everybody, that nobody, whether the Yuri, the Bwaka, or whosoever person become president, they just treat anybody the way you feel they're treating them. Everybody matter. And I encourage all Liberians are fully supporting the June, the December 3rd protest.
Thank you.
To the fullest.
And let me ask you, I know you were aware, you at that time, maybe you were around for the April 14 riot then?
You know, April, when 1990 walking out,
No.
in fifth,
Okay, let me tell you now, the April 14 rest riot, it never took us into refugee camp. I was a little boy, but it never took us in refugee camp. When the police, when Vanny Dempster did the first shooting, when he shot at a protester on Camp Johnson Road and UN Drive, that had the whole thing went helter scatter. But yet and still, we never went in refugee camp. It was not even a war. So how protests will bring war? At that time, we're naive. Now, just imagine there was no Facebook.
Protests and never bring war.
Thank you.
For my little knowledge, and for the time I've stayed in the United States, going to school and working and other things, my experience, the walking about when the Dole regime came in 1980,
Yep.
and they started treating people.
Thank you.
All the paramilitary group,
Thank you.
SATU, these people disappearing, insulting people going to people who raping.
Yep.
Can you imagine if you will come to my house? I've between Carricksburg and my TV. So somebody may say, oh, because you part of that group, so you will speak in favor of other people. All Liberians matter.
Yeah.
Right now, there's no Congo. There's
No.
American Liberian.
No Congo, nothing, not in Liberia. Yeah.
The Congo man married a Pele woman. Harry Green, father married a Pele woman. They gave birth to Harry Green. So you can't say Harry Green was a Congo man.
No.
Benina Yuri married, father married to a country woman. They gave birth to Benina Yuri.
Yeah.
So come on, Benina Yuri is a country man.
Yeah.
All his life he lived in Liberia. He went to school. He lived all his life in Liberia. All his property there. So let's start routine.
Yeah.
Like what are the country people done?
Yeah.
And see how our own country people are treating us.
Now look at it treating us. That's a fact. That's the fact.
In the national legislatures, how many Congo men you got there? Let me just look at the average. Okay, we agree there's Congo in Liberia, there's native in Liberia, but how many Congo in the national legislature? How many Congo can make decisions in Liberia?
Oscar Cooper Finney.
Oscar Cooper is not a Congo.
No, I will put him. No, I will put him on the Congo side. Don't worry, I just put him on the Congo side.
Oscar Cooper marking for Kidman.
Yeah.
The financial marking for Kidman.
So I will take Oscar Cooper. Let me show all the Congo people that are in our house, in the Senate. Who there?
So come on, we should start betting. Georgia is not performing. I mean, we need to go. We find a good administrator. Somebody who can spare here the affair of this.
And even if we want to talk, if we want to talk about the Congo people, then we'll put some people in the Congo group. Who is Ajibo Bernard?
Ajibo Bernard, what go do?
Yeah, who is Charles Bright?
Charles Bright.
Emmanuel Shaw. Thank you. So all these people, sometimes they say things and it's not okay, man. But listen. We will support it, and it's up to George.
We are supporting it. Somebody say, "Oh, you're bringing." Can you imagine? I saw the babies when teacher couldn't take pay. the guy on the street, look, we want to talk to our president. You pay our teacher for us to take our test. They want to tear gas or put children.
The same children who are dancing in the street before for job, we are them.
Yeah. Baby, children in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and stuff. How long does it take for you to talk to the children? Look, you go by the class, we'll try to address, and we'll try to see how we can pay your teacher. I mean, that's all.
They finish.
But you tear gas with children. Then they say, oh, yeah, the opposition, I want to, you not to pay teacher. The Henry Coastal radio station, you're close. Henry Coastal, I want to, you not to pay National Housing Authority.
Thank you.
Employee for 1 year, or the health worker. When they were on the ring on GFK campus, or GFK or compound, rather, protesting the need a pay. Where in this war of government will run, you don't have the healthcare system breakdown, security, education, everything breakdown. When the people in Basel have to put money together to open their own hospital, they want the government.
Yep.
Yeah. Already must start the team. Georgia is not performing, you need to go. The country of Liberia, the country called Liberia, is also belong to Jefferson Oji or Akara Gray. He is not arrogant or I call it said than any other person. People just
but they say they got a split in the party right now.
Yeah, we care whether they got split.
No, but what I say is that since they say he ain't listen to us, now I told someone, I said I will not listen to what they saying. Sorry, it's okay, but they believe in it now that Joshua don't want to talk to us and he's not talking to them. So they are frustrated now and they coming out to say the same thing that we are saying. So it's up to them, to be frank.
So where the Constitution you're talking about, for now, for me, for what I say as an educated person, the Constitution is suspended. Because there's no education, there's no health, people are not taking peace. So where the Constitution, where does the Constitution function?
That's the thing, my brother. That's the
where
thing.
Does it function? The national security have not taken pay. Do you have a Constitution? Everything have broken down. Then you say, oh, the Constitution gave mandate for the man to end his 6 years.
But where? Which part of the Constitution say you got to end the 6 years? Where?
If you're not performing the right to order,
the people say they got it right to also the president tell you say the elected official to leave, to resign. Yeah. They ain't got to say president or they say your elected official, you got it right to assemble and tell, listen, my man, you got to close the office down and leave. Yeah.
Even before Charles Taylor, before William F. Stockman, before William R. Toba, there was a president that resigned.
A lot of president. There was another guy, the other back, and now they would want to the other guy resigned. A lot of people.
Two presidents resigned.
Yeah.
So who is George Weah? And because it is the other thing, no, George has not performed in my dear. If I want to leave from here, when I go like Europe, I sleep sound and know that we got peace and we live a better life than living from here or even afraid to go to your own country. That people say, oh, the men that they live like come up on a kind of that they did. Because in Liberia, once you work hard and put your life together, you become successful, you can come up in. Yeah,
with all the things Ellen did, people used to go home and speak out and do things. Nobody care. But look at, and at the same thing I was saying, I said, when we get a man as a president, especially George Weah, who hate corruption, who hate criticism, he got thin skin, that what's going to happen? He not talking, and they're doing all the dirty work for him. And if Liberian people don't stand up, if they don't stand up,
that injustice brought the war in Liberia.
That's it. That's it.
People were being murdered. They kill people. Our late child, our time, were living Capitol Hill. My dear brother, in the night, people cry. When people here come from me, nobody to stand for. Look at Johnny now. The guy I went to Great Britain. I listened to the son on the Henry Coastal show.
Yep.
The man graduated in telecommunication engineering at one of the universities in Great Britain. I'm making. What the man is?
Dwell. I mean, I can't. About George Dwell.
George
Dwell, the one that killed the whole family. Yeah.
Kill the whole family. So then you're talking about all the protests during war. You can see what brought it. Look at the German Nima.
Yep.
When Charles Jordan, all of them, when they shoot people around, say there will be no Nima country. Then you say that protest brought war.
Yeah.
Whenever you say we wiping away or go country, George Weah in a group should go. George Weah does not represent any country. He's the president of the Republic of Liberia and he's not behaving. The people suffering. People working, they can't take pay. People money in all the banks are collapsed. Don't want just say that 4 hours and say, oh, because the man got 6 years, man, so we should look at and lying to carry the country down. So we should say that and white will all pay for the next 4 years to come.
Yep.
So that's what the Constitution says. So those who the constitutional scholars, let it come out and convince us what the Constitution says.
Yep.
The lady that working to JFK or the Phoebe Hospital or the men are cutting grass on PWI campus, what does the Constitution say in Unity P? Let it come and tell us. Or the men are cutting grass at the University of Liberia campus where the students have to protest before the DP. What does the Constitution say?
You get a point, bro.
The civil regulations say that there should be a salary increment. It says they should reduce the salary.
Reduce salary. I never see that one. Even I work with labor ministry.
If you get claim of increasing it, it should remain as it is.
Yes.
But you can't keep reducing somebody's salary. Then so the Constitution school you.
The Constitution never to
do
do. Labor ministry, you don't reduce. Even you demote the man care his salary. And the labor law is a universal law.
So
you do not reduce.
You don't play temper with people's salary.
The only person's salary you can reduce if you're a contractor, I can negotiate and say, listen, my man, I'll pay you this again. That's it. But you cannot reduce an employee's salary.
Somebody who you employ. All the banks collapse. LBDR now the voice of collapse. No money there. They will stay there for 4 hours and say, what the Constitution say. Now what the Constitution told you, you can take all of the money and use it and say the Constitution say. Now what they say? They're all the lawyers are preaching around here saying, oh, the Constitution. Then they can't tell us that I have my man, she work on PWI campus or Total campus for the next as cook or janitor for 6-7 months. She can't take it. Yeah. The Constitution say, how will she feed her children?
Okay, my God. Thank you very much. And someone else trying to call. I appreciate your time and everything you say is truth. And let us just continue to speak out. And thanks for your support and everything. Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, Henry. Yeah. Okay, we'll be going to a break and I will come back again. And after a while, the number is out there, 267-702-7967. This is a general and broadcasting through the LRTN and organized by, is controlled by the Sharing Foundation. And our CEO is Joseph Anderson. And we are here for the public. This is a community radio broadcasting from everywhere. We also register in Liberia. You can also see us on that side right now. They are watching me in Liberia, and we got our partner there. And this is LRTN. I'm telling you, this is a Liberian own thing. I'm enjoying it. And right now, I'm going to turn it over to studio. And Mr. Alexander and Joseph Anderson, can you take me back and at least come over commercial there? Thank you very much. Bye.
P2Y2, Jesus' son. Vivian, oh, just praise on the beat. Oh my God, my soul cry out to you, oh God. Come on. You my rock, Papa, you are my strength. Hey, my strong tower, you cover me with your wings. I give you the glory. Your blessing forever, I will receive it. Hey God, come on. My defender, my strong tower, you never been like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Praise the Lord, I will say, truly my soul, truly my soul, I will wait upon God. Truly my soul, truly my soul, I will wait upon God. He come at my salvation. Yeah. Blessing me, God. You've been blessing me, God. Every day, Baba, yeah, you never fail. I give you the glory. Your blessings forever, I will receive it. My defender, my strong tower, you never think like me. You got me in your place, so I will shout amen. Hallelujah, yeah. And here's what I thank you for everything. I will wait upon God. I will wait upon God. For He come at my salvation. Truly my soul. blessing me,
blessing me, blessing me,
blessing me, blessing me,
blessing me, blessing me.
victory, victory,
Overflow.
victory, victory. I will win,
Hey,
I will win,
hey, hey,
I will win,
hey.
I will win. Blessing me, blessing me,
Victory.
blessing me, blessing me,
Blessing me, blessing me.
victory, victory,
Overflow.
victory, victory. I will win,
Hey,
I will win.
hey, hey.
Did I wait upon the Lord? He surrendered to me, my soul. Truly, my soul.
My soul, my soul.
I will wait upon God.
I will wait.
He come out my salvation.
Salvation.
Truly, my soul.
My soul.
Truly, my soul.
My soul.
I will wait upon God.
I will wait.
He come out my salvation.
For He is my salvation.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're just back from commercial, and I want to say thank you again for watching. This is the General himself and Mr. Kishen and Munel Kishen, the General, conversation with the General. So I want to say again, and Liberia is the only country we have, like what my friends just said, Thomas. And I want to remind people on this: the protests in April of 1979. April 14 protests never sent us into to refugee camp. That's part of the killings and whatsoever. The government, the one that disrupted the protests by shooting. The first gun was fired on Camp Johnson Road, between Camp Johnson Road and UN Drive, where they had the Charlotte Tubble House School at the time, and then no, it was not yet. Camp Johnson Road and UN Drive at the intersection there. But it was not war. It lasted for a day and two, but it was a riot. And nobody went to refugee camp. The government realized that they had to bring in reinforcement because they blunder. This government want to blunder. This government want to shoot innocent people who will be protesting on that day with all arms. This government want to go after citizens to kill them. No, I don't think so. I don't think so, President Weah. I don't think you want to go that route, because the statement you make in that church that the people will suffer, no, the people will not suffer, Mr. Weah. The people will not suffer. If there's such a thing that will ever happen, that you will start to shoot at the citizen, they will not suffer. You will kill them, yes. But Mr. President, you will serve the time. And you want for the people blood to be on your head? Your children will pay for it. Because this time around, during those days, there were no Facebook, there were no social media, but now there's social media. Your children will watch it and will tell them, your father was the president of Liberia and this is what he did to us. This is what he did to the people. This is what he put the people in. So, Mr. President, I don't think you want to go that route to tell the people that if war comes to Liberia, you will suffer. Even my ministers then will have the opportunity to leave. Mr. President, you are wrong. You are wrong on that. You have another opportunity. You had the opportunity to tell the Liberian people, to talk to them, to see how best that we can calm down and how best we can get back and listen to you, and you will do what you were elected for. But if you think by threatening the people of Liberia by there will be war, you will suffer and this and that, you are wrong, Mr. President. If you don't listen to us, listen to your people who just told you that it is time you listen to the masses. As much as they themselves against you, they don't still want you to step down. But we got no option, Mr. President. If you can't lead, then quit. The vice president will take over. Unless you want to take the vice president with you. But if you can't lead, then you... And if you stay that long, the military are going to take over. And you know the international community are going to come in. They are watching. They are watching us from a distance. They are watching. If you don't stand up and speak for yourself, nobody will speak for you. If you don't speak for yourself, nobody going to do that for you. Enough is enough. You don't expect international community to continue to come in and help you. Look at Ghana today. Ghana don't beg for money anymore. They stand up for themselves. We are so rich. Why we should be beggars? Why we should be begging, and just sell and banjo our country? Eh? Ortega, or Dangote, Dangote, the cement guy, the richest African man, wanted to go to Liberia to see how to help us. I was so embarrassed when this Nigerian man told me in his house, when I was speaking, he said, "Where you from?" I said, Liberia. He said, "Yes, I knew it, your accent." He said, "Oh, your country are too much. Oh. Small little country that Dangote want to go and do cement there. You're telling him to give you people over $3 million bribe. My friend, your government are good. Oh." So I had to argue and I said, "What you mean?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm telling you, Dangote, that's my friend, huh? That's my friend. The guy live in Princeton." He said, "That's my friend." He said, "Liberia, you people are not ready. You are not ready for truth." I just shut my mouth. So there are a lot of things that the government, the bribing is at the peak. How would the president fight corruption? How would the president fight corruption? Mr. President, it is time you fight corruption. He's corrupt. That's what Molu said. Mr. President, we need to go after people who have acquired wealth overnight. The president is part of it. Injustice, Mr. President, the state try to get the president off the hook. Magay, I don't know Joshua is afraid of Magay. I don't know. But peer pressure is something is real for true. When you're suffering from low self-esteem, that what really happened. Now, Joshua, I never double love power. Joshua used the same power on the national team. That is how some players never would adjust it. Because in fact, even Salensa was not going to wear the jersey. If it was not because of the Liberian people, Joshua came out one time and said Salensa would not play. But Liberian people never understood why Salensa was that and defensive because of the way Joshua was doing it. Yes. Salensa would not play. Liberian people said, "What?" There was a big split right there. But Tamabomo, other players, nope. Joshua 11 was ready to play any day, anytime. Any day, anytime. One time, there were no players that Rodney Monk, they were going to play for Lone Star that day in Togo. Yep. See? But that is so bad. That is bad. Don't forget, this is the LRTN radio, the television network. It's owned and operated by the Sharing Foundation. And you will get me on. We'll be coming out with the schedule right now. I'm on test transmission. I'm just testing right now. And ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, we must pray for Costa and the Liberian people. And we'll pray for our leaders to understand that going after Costa, it will just like you going after your own shadow. It's like you going after your own shadow. It's closer to you. But when you continue to look at your shadow and you think because it's closer to you, you can grab it, you might end up falling in the wrong place. It will not help you. Putting Zoli in the street, not to sleep and get armed men going to people's houses, no. And if you think you're going to use women to put Henry Costa into trouble, because that's what they're doing like bro nowadays, they will send a little, not even underage, but they will send you a woman and I will just say, "Oh, he raped me." And it's not going to happen. So we all know that. But don't touch Costa. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. You're removing your removal from office. It depends on your action, Mr. President. Now the president will be traveling. I know he's not going to be in the country when Henry Costa enters the country. And Magay will be there. Will try to do all the dirty work, thinking that he will suppress the people. And let me make you understand, their plans are to stop people from coming from town to Rabosfield. And they will be blocking the traffic. So people need to enter into, if you enter Magibby County to sleep, You got to be careful. They got people who are willing to do some bad stuff. If you got a means of spraying out, you're spray out. I'm telling you from an intelligent report. They got security all over the place. They want to stop the movement of people into that area. Into that area. Do not move alone. Do not move alone. Don't listen to no one. If you don't know them, do not share any information. If you have not seen that person before, do not share information. Always move as a team and be with yourself, because they are planning a clandestine move to kill. To kill, thinking that when Liberians see 2-3 killings, they might change their minds. But when you decide to protest, it comes with some responsibilities. It comes with other stuff. Not everybody can protest. They got Liberians who will be part of the protest, but they will not go in the front. They will stay home. It's all the same protest. The people of Liberia are tired. They are tired. You do like what Thomas just said. Which part of the Constitution that says that when I work, don't pay me? Which part of the Constitution says that you should delay my pay? Or which part of the Constitution of the labor law or the labor law saying that you got a right to reduce an employee's salary? No. According to the International Labor Organization, you can dismiss, you can demote a man, but he carries his salary. The only people's salary you can reduce, people that work on piecework or contractors. Right in America, if you're a contractor, you got an option. They say, well, we should pay you $10, but we can only pay $5 for the job this time around. You either accept it or not. But I've never seen it. Or you lay people off. You redundant that position. You lay them off. If you want to open it, you bring them back according to seniority. The time, how long I was there. And when you laying people off, you don't lay people off who been there for years. You lay the new people off first. If you want to lay anybody off who been there for years, you have to give them a severance pay, or you got to do something. Then you can bring in a new person for that same position and you pay them less money. You see? So you cannot. There is no way. Only Liberia, then we will say harmonize. They say, oh, they're not pay card. We harmonize. If you humanization. If you gave John Brown $300 and that job was a $50 job, John Brown is there until he leave. Or what you do, you pay John Brown off. You pay John Brown off. And then you bring somebody in. But you just cut their salary like that. Eh? You think we're going to feel it? The common man will feel it more. Eh? The common man. And all these things happening because of all the benefits you're giving yourself. Why government should give the finance minister house to sleep? Why? You live in Liberia? Eh? Why government should give you living place? But anyway, it's up to George Weah. He's the president. We respect him. As a president, we can take it from you. It's gone down in history as the 25th president, although you guys don't know, you say 24th, but he's the 25th president. And he followed Ellen Johnson, and they put the big placard at the stadium. They say 24th president. He's actually the 25th president. To show how dummy you guys are, don't even know. I would never, if I was there, I would insist, if I were closer to George Weah, I would insist that they change it. I remember I met Zoga Wilson in Trenton one time. I fixed a plaque. George Weah plaque as 25th president, but Zoga Wilson never saw it. He said, "Man, I like the team. I gave it to me, man. You know, he elected him free." I said, "No, my man." I said, "You want it? I can give it to you, but I got only 25th president." "No, the man at 25th, 24th. I said, "My man, the man is 20. So I will start counting." I said, he said, "Well, my man, he posted, he just walked from him." You know, like, oh, Jesus Christ. Ellen tried to delete Moses Blythe, who served that short little term, and then they went to election. Tried to take his name out. Even one day, They got this guy who's I think as the president who resigned, and then another guy took over. He was the 36th president of America. Once that man take the oath of office, that's it. From an elected president and elected vice president. You understand? But he's the 25th. The white man, the white people know our own history more than us because we don't write it. We don't write. I've never seen no librarian who write about a president. To write about the president, I haven't seen nobody. I haven't seen no librarian writer yet. I haven't seen no librarian writer. Karika then could have a nice thing to say about George Weah if they want to. Now someone called me, said they want to write something about George Weah and they want some pictures. I told them, no, I'm not reading. And Sam, and when he said, colleague called me and told, no, I'm not here to supply anybody with pictures. But we must stand up. We must talk. Oppositions, I'm saying it again. I'm saying it. As a Liberian, I have the right to support whoever I want to support. But if I'm supporting you, it's my responsibility to give my advice. To give you honest advice. I know how Liberians electric think. You are not there for us. One of the songs that was sung during the election, we don't know Cummings. He just coming. Oh, he now a bad man, we just coming. And don't let Liberian people start to play that game on you that you only want to be president. That is why you abandoned us when George Weah was treating us the way he did. Henry Costa was the one who stood up with us. Darius Dillon, other people, the one who stood up. You don't know. The hint to the wise is quite sufficient. I don't care how people think or what I just said, but the truth is the truth. Liberians, voters, you do not rely on them. Do not rely on them. Because they will sing the same song, say you are not there. You criticize the protests. It is good. Unity and Liberty and ANC is not part of the protest. Good. But as an opposition, what is your role? What are you doing? Not to just talk to the Liberian people, have a press conference and tell us what you're going to do. But we want to hear that voice, whether it's soft-spoken. We want you to come out and let the people, don't tell us it's illegal. If the standard bearer or the leader, political leader of ANC can come out and say that the protest is an illegal thing, it is not illegal. You try to kill, look, don't bite and blow. Don't make other people feel good, Mr. Cummings. I don't think it's right. I want to be honest. I admire your past work with Coca-Cola, where you came from and where you reached. I saw your platform. That is why I supported you. But coming out and don't want to give a statement, I think you're making one of the biggest political mistakes. Even if you're not be part of the COP, but you are one of the biggest politicians in Liberia. The voters, ANC votes alone cannot make you president. No matter what. ANC votes alone cannot make you president. No matter how bad other parties are, they got members. Yeah. And Liberian people, because when Joshua is out of the election is stronger. That's when people make the decision. Yeah. Mr. Cummings, you need to do better. You need to stand up and tell George Weah that he failed the people. He failed the people. You think he's going to run after you? You scared? You scared to let the world know that he failed the people? You got to tell them the truth. Politicians, come out. Say it. That's why they say that the political parties are weak. You guys are weak. Joshua is vulnerable. He's vulnerable. Now when election comes and somebody else decided that, oh, I'm going to get into the race, then the next thing, we're trying to tell them that, oh, we knew you wanted to run. Yes. The COP is made out of different people from different political parties. I agree. But they're not representing the party. And if you in another group, sometimes you can change and start to develop love for that group. Yes, because that's a mass-based thing that's a mass, and that's the masses. That group. You got people from CDC, you got people from ANC, you got people from UP, you got people from different places. Y'all stop going after people who are not political leaders. Henry Costa is not running against Alexander Cummings. Now Pelebo Costa not running against you. You're leaving him alone. He worked for whatever. He built up his platform. Costa is the only Liberian who I see get on Facebook. You got 6,000 people watching at the same time. Then before he finished, you got over 39,000 people on it that view it. It's time. The time he put in with Ellie and whatsoever. Yeah. So, if you can't help, don't criticize. Let's just pray for a peaceful protest. Let the protest be very peaceful. Let us pray for that. And let us pray that our president will have the wisdom not to do anything stupid. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much. And I want to say thanks to everyone who been watching. Share this video with your friends, loved ones. Share it. Let it go. And whether you share or not, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on and YouTube. So if you go into YouTube, you can just go onto YouTube and type in LRTN, and you will get it on YouTube. If you into Twitter, you can go to Twitter, you will also get it. And on Facebook, and you can also go onto my page, my Facebook page, and also don't forget, it's the LRTN. I will come up with the schedule when I will be on, and there will be varieties of show. Someday I will be on will be politics, but into comedy session. So we got to laugh sometime. Like I will talk about the president, the way he danced, and I would let you guys know that he jumped over the hole, but sometimes there will be a time that the hole is stay in front of him. He thought he jumped over the hole, but now the hole is still there, but it's dark in the hole. And you see how the president getting fat, in front of his stomach. I don't know what the president, but somebody told me that the president passed, he fell off today. They said that the president fell off today because, and you know the president got a pressure. He's a pressure guy. He got to take his pills. And with the slow down and the civil servants say they're gonna go slow. And that they already get money. Then they go slow again. So man, like Thomas 9 say gotta go on the field and go collect own money. So that's it. And Costa will be in the country in the 19th. He will be arriving in the morning, not in the night. So and you know he didn't hide the time frame because we don't want to hide the time frame before you're collecting on a cover. And you know, so we tell you. And he said by the time he get to the airport, he'll be speaking Pele. So I know how to manage. You can understand Pele, but he'll be going live. And all the James Botte and others and people from around the world, other journalists will be there to see his arrival. And it might be the biggest. So Josh, we are trying to leave the country to go for something we don't even know about. Yeah. And look, they lied too much. Sedition in America, I want you to slow down a little bit. You don't know what's in the mind of Joshua. People in America, the same way I can remember when Charles Taylor was president. The president will not go anywhere. The president will not leave. Nobody will force the president of this country. No new Charles Taylor was negotiating a late exit. So you don't know what Joshua are up to right now. So you stop putting your neck on the line. I know he discouraged you today again when he went to the church. He went there to go force with the people. They go there, go force with you. If anything happen like brother, you will suffer. My government official and myself will get means to leave. You see that, President? Joshua, thank you. Thank you for the time you serve. You're doing your best, but you can't do it. You can't do it, my friend. We're not here to credit nobody. They say you can credit the man who caught your head, not the man who circumcised you. We know that one, yeah? Okay. So because they can't pay back. So the time we gave the president, okay. We can't credit the president again. That is why the international community don't want to give us nothing. Forget about the IMF giving money. But the business people now, we have taken more money from the people than the taxes. We have taken 5-year taxes from people and still not helping. We can't stand the president's lifestyle. We can't pay for his lifestyle. And you know, we can't do that. Okay, I will leave you this song. Hey mama, oh. Hey papa, hey mama, oh. Hey papa, you better go to Joshua, for we are to change a way. Oh. The thing he doing to us, the day we ready to strike back. We are freeborn of Liberia. Nobody can do us nothing. People, mind your business. People, mind your business. The other guy look at me, he say, I'm a Lebanese man. He said, you damn disappointed African. I said, thank you very much. He said, I'm a Congo man. But anyway, nobody can take my citizenship from me. Yes. Joshua is an American citizen and a Liberian citizen and a French citizen. I am a Liberian citizen. I'm an American citizen, whether you like it or not. I'm not going to trade for nothing. You understand? But I love my country. I love that country so much. That is why I'm talking. I don't want nothing from there. I want to go there, do the same thing with other people, do the business, feel free. I want to sleep and not nobody. We cannot stop corruption, but we can minimize it. Law and order, hard work. That's it, Liberia need. Will develop that country. Yes. We just need a strong government that will put things in place. Law and order. Nobody need to drive on the opposite lane as if we're in England. Well, we can just change it now. Say we won't drive up those, and we can just change it. One time we say we will drive like people, but government official going this place, that place, the policeman, the children stealing, and the policeman standing right there. So what you expect? They got checkpoint all over the country in the night. That just to steal. In the night, we see some people in police uniform. They're not even member of the police force. All these things, you know. But anyway, this is the general himself, Munel Kishen. You can join me anytime. Thank you. I love you guys. Share this video. And also you can visit our site. Thank you very much. This is the general himself. Have a good week. From tomorrow, Christmas coming out. You know what? Share with somebody. We got people in Liberia who could help, but not everybody. Some people don't have nobody in that country. How they going to manage? That's just the thing. If you put $100 aside and just do a random help, just give a random help, $100. Random help, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Another person do the same thing. Another person, just take $100. It will not kill you. It will help us. That person will bless you. Yeah. But it's hard. It's hard. Now people calling you, don't even know them because they see you on Facebook. I don't blame them. They call you, and please, when they call you, don't just lie. If you don't have it, tell them, say, listen, I don't have it. Some might be telling the truth, and some are not telling the truth. So, guys, thank you very much. Let us be our brother's keeper. Henry Costa, God bless you, my brother. Have a nice day, and lift your heads up high. You will make it. Nobody will do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? The same God that protect Joshua will protect you. Unless Joshua God different. Yes. Bye for now. This is Munel Kishen.
P2Y2, Jesus' son. Vivian,
oh,
just Prince on the beat. Oh my God. I'm so proud to you, God.